The reign is over. A legend returns to take the crown. Hey guys, my name is Ben Arthur, this is Ben's Watch Club, and here is my review of the Casio LTP Sapphire. I've titled this video the Daniel Wellington Killer for good reason. I think Casio have come up clutch with this model, and while it's not the best watch in the world, I do think it's a stylish, low-cost minimalist watch that renders many more expensive fashion watches useless. By the end of this video, if you like the sound of this Casio, I'll have it linked in the video description. Purchases made through that link help this channel out tremendously, so are massively appreciated. You may be surprised to see Casio branding on a watch like this, as was I when I discovered it on their website. Several of my favourite watches are Casio digital models. These are cheap, hardy, and see a great amount of wrist time as a result. Heck, I'm even wearing one now while filming this video. They're also so popular, either you or someone you know probably already owns one. However, I'd say they're far from the epitome of style. The F91 in particular has a reputation as a dad watch. This analog model, however, is radically different. With its modern design and slim case, I think this is their attempt to crush the likes of Daniel Wellington. Unfortunately, I found it incredibly difficult to find any information about this watch, so I've got no idea when this model was introduced. Nevertheless, here are a look at the specifications that are provided. Size-wise, this watch comes in with a case diameter of 40mm, a depth of 7.3mm, and a lug-to-lug size of 46. The case material is 316L stainless steel, the dial is covered with sapphire crystal glass, and within the watch you'll find a Miyota quartz movement. These typically come fitted with a genuine leather strap, and you'll be able to pick one up on Amazon from between about £40 to about £90. And on paper at least, that seems like a fairly good deal. But let's take a look at each part of the watch to find out. The default strap is just a simple, stitched one made of genuine leather. This is a low tier of leather, and you can tell that it's not very high quality. There are no quick release tabs, and the lugs aren't drilled, but you can change the strap relatively easily using a spring bar tool. While it's not a great strap, this is a low cost watch, so it's to be expected at this price. To be fair, having worn this one more, it hasn't creased as badly as the strap on the Daniel Wellington I recently reviewed, so it's quite usable. Furthermore, I can generally forgive rubbish straps if I feel like money has gone into the rest of the watch, and that is definitely the case with this one. In fact, let's talk about the case. This one is made of the industry standard 316L stainless steel. This is the same material that you'll see in many more expensive watches, and in this Casio, it seems to be of surprisingly good quality, despite the price point. This is better than the chrome-plated brass used in similar watches like the Timex Fairfield. And the steel used here does seem to be better than the similar steel used in Daniel Wellington, for instance. The LTP case has a high shine finish throughout and has a small crown to match the minimalist vibe. This one does have some grip and overall performs okay when turning. The proportions of this watch are going to be ideal for loads of guys. 40mm is a good sweet spot, although in an ideal world I'd love a 38mm version of this too. That would suit my small wrist size even better, but I love how slim this case is. This allows it to sit flush to my wrist and easily lets the watch slip under tight sleeves. If you're someone with skinny wrists, proportionally this will still look great too. The Casio Sapphire, as the name suggests, has a killer feature: sapphire glass. This is top tier and offers a great level of scratch protection, which is fantastic value considering the retail price of this piece. The vast majority of watches at this price point have either the slightly weaker mineral glass or acrylic, so this is an excellent selling point for Casio. It gives you the peace of mind to be able to wear this watch freely without worrying about scuffs or scrapes. It is to be noted, sapphire is technically less shatterproof than the other two types of glass, but I'm yet to ever shatter a watch crystal. I don't find myself dropping watches regularly or hitting them with hammers, so I think for most guys, sapphire is a more optimal choice, which is why I'm so pleased to see it on this watch. The design of the dial is one of the key reasons I was drawn to this watch. This almost doesn't look like a Casio at all. It offers a classic minimalist aesthetic with slim hour and second markers around the perimeter. It also has a small second-hand sub-dial towards the bottom of the face. This colour variant features a touch of red. I'd say this watch definitely takes inspiration from some of the similarly designed Nomos models and also has some of the typical Bauhaus design cues. The logo is relatively small and in the regular central position, whilst the hands are slim and baton style. I describe this particular variant as having a slightly off-white colour and does have a slight texture to it when you analyse it up close. I think it gives it a nice finish compared to the flat white dials used by loads of fashion watch brands. There are some black variants of this watch too which look absolutely gorgeous. I'm considering picking one of those up as well for future videos. Overall, this results in a watch that is very versatile and can easily be dressed up and down to suit a variety of occasions. I think this could function well as a low-cost dress watch to add to a budget collection. And while this design may be a bit plain for some, I think it's going to have a bit more of that mass appeal. Inside this watch is a Miyota 1L45 quartz movement. This is a basic, durable quartz movement that comes in around £9 to buy individually. It supports the small second-hand function of this LTP. Considering the cost of the watch, I'd say this is a decent movement, and is a step up from the generic Chinese quartz movements used by loads of cheap brands. This is an incredibly similar movement, if not a slightly better one, than used in lots of the cheap fashion watch brands that cost multiple times this Casio. I think the Casio LTP offers awesome value for money in the sub £100 price category. You get an attractive, minimalist watch with great glass and solid construction for a remarkably low cost. I don't think it's realistically going to compete with the likes of Tissot at that next price bracket up. But I definitely take one of these over the likes of a Daniel Wellington. These offer a very similar minimalist look, but a better quality, and you could literally buy multiple of these for the same price as one Daniel Wellington. These are currently retailing for a ridiculously low amount of money on Amazon. I'll have it listed in the video description if you want to grab one. And obviously prices will fluctuate over time, but I'd say if you're paying under about £80 or £90, you're still getting a great deal. With this watch, I've really struggled to find too much to criticise. As I mentioned earlier, in a super ideal world, if this was closer to 38mm, I think it would suit my slim wrist slightly better. Also, the lugs are a tiny bit on the long side. If they were shorter too, I'd like it even more. A better strap would be optimal as well. But really, when you're spending this little, what can you expect? And the good thing with this watch is you're likely to have plenty of money left over to spend on whatever strap you want. I really like this watch, but where should it go on the wall of watches? Is this watch garbage, uncool, cool, or ice cold? Let me know your thoughts by voting in the comment section down below and in the iCard above. Tune into the next video to see where it gets placed. In the last episode, you ranked the out-of-order Casanova. A lot of you voted garbage, but even more said uncool, so that's where it's going. If you'd like to see more of these wristwatch videos, make sure you press that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.